YouTube, what's going on? If you're new here, my name's Roger. I own a company called QBO Tactical where we make holsters and gear and also film content for this channel. In today's video, we have something new to show you all. Well, it's definitely new to us anyway. I'm talking about the new Springfield Armory Hellion Bullpup Rifle. So as always, I like to tell you guys how I go about getting these products in for review. I'm sure everyone has seen the recent launch of Springfield Armory's new bullpup rifle, the Hellion. Now, I have been working with Springfield Armory for a few years, and I typically review their 1911 platform, as I've been shooting that platform for many years. With this recent release of their Hellion rifle, I started to have some interest, as I have never owned a bullpup rifle myself. I reached out to the Springfield marketing team asking if we could get one for a review video, and they were nice enough to send this out to us for this video. We always appreciate the support from Springfield Armory, as they are always willing to work on projects with our channel. Okay, so before we get into the range footage, let's go over the specs and how I have this Hellion rifle configured. The Springfield Armory Hellion Bullpup Rifle features an overall length of 28.25 inches while still having a 16-inch barrel. It features ambidextrous controls and even has a reversible ejection port system. So if you are a lefty, no more brass exiting into your face. If you're not familiar with the bullpup design, this is where the action of the firearm and the magazine insertion is moved behind the trigger closer to the buttstock area. By doing this, you reduce the overall length of the rifle drastically, and you still have a long enough barrel for downrange performance. Now, this rifle is based on the VHS-2 bullpup design, which is utilized by the Croatian military. The Springfield Armory Hellion offers this platform to the US in a semi-automatic 5.56 configuration. The rifle has integrated flip-up sights, a top uninterrupted strip of Picatinny rail, where we have mounted the primary arms SLX 3x prism optic. More on that in just a little bit. Springfield also chose to go with the BCM Gunfighter Mod 3 grip, which you all know is my favorite grip on the AR-15 platform. It also features an adjustable stock and an M-LOK compatible forend. The Hellion features a hammer-forged 16-inch barrel chambered in 5.56 with a 1-in-7 twist and a rugged melanite coating. Again, this gun is fully ambidextrous from the charging handle to the safety selector, mag release, bolt release, and ejection port. Now, we have switched out the included muzzle device with one of our favorites from Barrera manufacturing. This is their SPB muzzle brake with a rainbow black PVE coating. This muzzle device not only gives you a very large port, which keeps the gun shooting flat, but it also allows you to easily thread on your suppressor via the taper mount. Speaking of suppressors, you will notice that we have the CGS Group Helios Titanium QD model attached to this Hellion rifle. As you see later in this video, the Hellion is a great suppressor host, and with the lightweight 3D printed technology of the Helios suppressor, you barely notice it's even there. When utilizing a suppressor, the Hellion has an adjustable gas system that allows for two positions, S for suppressed and N for normal modes. Okay, with the specs out of the way, let's get into the fun stuff, the range footage. For this range trip, John, Jade, and I headed out to one of our shooting spots here in Vegas. Like we always do, we recorded our first shots through the gun, so here's that footage now. All right, guys, these are my first rounds to the new Springfield Hellion Bullpup. We did change out a few things. I put on the Reardon manufacturing muzzle device, their SPB, for reasons that you'll see here shortly. I'm also rocking the SLX 3x with the ACSS Raptor from Primary Arms. I've got some vertical forends from Magpul, the sling from Flatline Fiberco, but these are my first rounds through it. Let's see how this thing does. Okay, so definitely a different recoil impulse. It's weird because it's still 16 inches in length. However, it's got like an SBR feel to it, and you can feel the stuff cycling back here more than like your traditional AR. But I didn't mind it at all. I did watch a few reviews before shooting this, and I was hearing a lot of different things about bullpup triggers being kind of not the best. But I didn't mind the trigger at all. It's got kind of a lot of take up, but once I get to that wall, it goes. So the safety is definitely getting some used to, but I'm gonna have the other guys try it and shoot it and see what they think. But digging the first shot so far. All right, we got John up now with the Springfield Hellion. Give it a whirl, bud.
That's pretty nice.
What do you think about the trigger?
Not too bad. Like you said, a lot of takeout, but once you're there, you're there.
Anything with the recoil for you?
No, nice and soft.
Does it feel like different though?
Yeah, it feels soft, like it's cushioned or something, but it's really not.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got Jade up now. She's gonna get her first rounds through the Hellion. Go for it.
There we go.
Thoughts? It's been a minute since you shot a rifle.
Yes, it's been a minute. What were you guys saying? The wall, the like.
So there's a lot of take up we're feeling.
Yes, the take up. So I anticipated it being sooner. So I don't know if you saw me kind of pull it down a little bit, but once you get the feel of it, it's fine. It's not a really big issue. There's not really a whole lot of kick. It's weird. It's surprising, but good.
Cool. So I wanted to do our first shots through the gun using the Reader Manufacturing SPB muzzle device. This is easily becoming one of my favorite muzzle brakes because of how flat it keeps the gun. But in addition to that, utilizing their Atlas suppressor adapter, I can run a variety of suppressors by easily threading them on to the taper mount. With that being said, I also wanted to record our first shots through the Hellion suppress for you guys, so here's that footage now. All right, guys, so like I was saying earlier, one of the reasons that we like using Reader Manufactured devices is because we can thread on stuff like the CGS group, Helios QD TI. This is their titanium 3D printed suppressor. Super lightweight, no welds because it's 3D printed. It's super cool, and it works really well with these Reardon devices and their Atlas attachment. There'll be a whole video on that, but that's why we have that device on there. It also is an awesome comp, as you guys just saw in the initial shots, but we wanted to get some first shots of the gun suppressed as well. So let's try that out. Here we go. Man. Woohoo! That's awesome. Not that hot, a little warm, but works just fine suppressed. I dig it. Have you guys try it now? All right, we got John up now, trying it out with the CGS Helios TI QD. Go for it, bud. There it is.
Nice and quiet. That's sweet. So quiet.
All right, we got Jade up now, shooting the Springfield Hellion with the CGS group Helios QD TI. Go for it.
Very quiet. It feels good too, honestly. It's pretty awesome.
You feel any more, does it feel like there's more weight in front?
Yeah, I can't tell if I like it or not. I mean, it feels balanced, but I don't know. I've only shot it just a little bit, so it's hard to say.
Gotcha. So as you guys just saw, this thing is pretty sweet to shoot suppressed. I was honestly surprised that I didn't get any gas blowback in the face. I thought this was going to be an issue as the action was further back. Now maybe because it is further back, more of it is pushed away. I did not experience any of that cutting onions, eye burning feeling that you tend to get when shooting suppressed, especially when shooting at a fast pace. Now that we got our first shots out of the way, I got a proper zero with this SLX 3x prism scope from Primary Arms. I'm really liking the prism scopes that Primary Arms has been putting out. You may remember from our Strybog video when I used their SLX 1x prism scope. The glass is super clear and the field of view is really nice. With the 3x magnification, we were able to get a quick zero at 100 yards and then confirmed on steel with no problems. This SLX 3x optic utilizes the ACSS Raptor reticle. You all know that the ACSS reticle is my favorite. Yeah, that's the head I'm aiming at. I'm hitting dead on. Now that we had our zero squared away, it was time to run some drills. The first drill I started with was just some transition drills to get familiar with the rifle. On the buzzer, I would draw and engage two rubber dummies 7 yards apart and 15 yards away from me. I would then engage a mini A-zone steel target at 25 yards after that. shot below it. .252, first shot 9.2. There we go, 5 rounds, .287. After that drill, of course, I had to run my favorite, the build drill. This is when I started to see and understand why people gripe about bullpup triggers. 144. 168. It's hard to get a consistent cadence going. New trigger. Oh, that was almost it. 142. Like when I squeeze, I feel like boom, it should go. And oh, that's a little more. Shot 7. 148 though. See right there? All that, I feel like. .141 first shot 6.5. .144 first shot 5.3. A little bit of trigger freeze. 163. And we're out. All right, picked up those 3 and a 9.7. This definitely isn't the worst trigger I've used. However, when you're used to a very fine and crisp 2-stage triggers on AR-15 platforms, this is definitely going to take us some time to get used to with this new Hellion rifle. There's definitely a lot of pre-travel or take-up before you get to the wall of that trigger. Definitely something I'm not used to as well. I primarily shoot 2011s and AR-15s. Both of these platforms typically have very little take-up, which makes it easier in my opinion to get faster follow-up shots. Now, before we headed out to our range session, our buddy Dimitri from Primary Arms, he let me know that he was actually going out to zero his Springfield Hellion as well. So we met up at the range, and during that time, he let me try out his Springfield Hellion, which he had the Primary Arms GLX 2x Prism equipped. This optic is definitely something I am interested in as well. I've always wanted a mini ACOG with the ACSS reticle. However, those have been discontinued. When I got to check this thing out on the range, it definitely gave me the same aesthetic and feel. So you're definitely gonna be seeing one of these on the channel very soon. 207. .250. That was good. 226. While we had Dimitri out on the range, we got him to hop on camera as well and fire off some rounds with our Springfield Hellion equipped with the Primary Arms SLX 3x Prism. 25 and 100, quick and easy. How's that can on the front end feel?
Can feel is good. I'm just really lost on this trigger and the safety. The safety is just like, I have to really get used to that. It's really strange.
So as you just saw, we are all kind of in the same boat in regards to the trigger. Now, as far as the safety selector goes, I think the positioning could be a little further down. What I mean by that is when you have the weapon on fire, it feels like that is where it should be for the safe position. Again, this is probably because we are used to the AR-15 platform. Intuitively, when I use the safety selector on the Hellion, I feel like I need to flick it down one more step when the weapon is already on fire. Okay, so with the bullpup design having the magazine feed behind the fire control group, I definitely wanted to run some 1R1 drills. I found this to be a little more difficult as the magazine insertion point was really up close. In addition to that, I found that my sling would constantly get in the way because of the rifle design. After several reps though, I was definitely starting to get it down much smoother.
606. Didn't even pick up all 3 shots. Huh. That was a 454. First shot was a 5.8. Reload was a 3.96. Let's go again. And then my sling's in the way. So like... Dang safety. 594. Let's go again. It's 535. I want to see if I can just break 5. 407. Okay, I can get a sub 4 then if I'm getting 407. $395. $379. So definitely sub 4, doable. But I'd probably be around like the 4.5, 5s all day long. But I'm sure with more and more reps, I get down to the sub 4s. So we probably have about 300 rounds to this thing so far. I am noticing, like after some rapid fire stuff, the handguard up here, it is getting a little warm. It's not like burning me to the touch, but definitely noticeable even around the safety selector. So just something to kind of note there. But now we're gonna try some shooting on the move with this SLX 3 times. Here we go, stand by. A-zone steel at 25 yards on the move. Ain't as easy as it looks. Nuts. If I could have got that last shot at 100, that'd have been great.
It was at this point that the sun started setting, so I figured it was a great time to get some low light shooting in. Now earlier I mentioned how we configured this rifle for the range. Using a vertical 4N for Magpul and a mini Surefire Scout, I was able to route the cable inside the handguard and underneath the barrel to give it a really clean and flush look. This allowed me to use a thumbs forward grip while activating the pressure pad for the light when I needed it. The last thing I wanted to do was just some standing shots at 100 yards. I ran down to the steel target at 100 and set my phone up to get some up close shots, and then I ran back to shoot this footage. I'm actually pretty stoked on how many hits I got with this platform after running 100 yards.
All right, just ran out at 100 yards, put my phone out there on the target, ran back, and let's see if we can get some shots with the SLX 3 times and the Springfield Hellion at 100 standing.
Okay, so my overall thoughts on the new Springfield Armory Hellion Bullpup Rifle. It's definitely something new and interesting. We all had a lot of fun on the range with it. I really like that you're able to get the look and feel and maneuverability of an SBR while still having a 16-inch barrel so that you avoid all of that tax stamp paperwork nonsense. I like that the gun runs really well, suppressed and unsuppressed. We ran about 650 rounds through the gun during this range session, and we didn't experience a single malfunction, so that is always good. I thought it was really cool that the gun is completely ambidextrous to the point where you could even change which side the shells eject from. You don't really see that that too often on rifle platforms. I do think that the manual of arms is something that will definitely take a lot of time to get used to. I do wish that there was a way to shorten the pre-travel on that trigger, and I also wish that there was a little more toe on the buttstock of the gun. I did find myself having to really bring that gun closer to my chest and less in my shoulder pocket for me to establish a good firing position. Also, I did notice that the gun did heat up quite a bit after shooting maybe 300 rounds through it. So everything from where the fire control group was to the handguard definitely was getting a little hot for us. Now, I'm definitely appreciative that Springfield was able to send this out to us. I've always wanted a bullpup rifle in my collection, and with all of the included ambidextrous features and adjustable gas system, I definitely think that this is the bullpup to have. Now, would I trade this in for one of my 10.5-inch AR-15s? Probably not. However, I can definitely understand that if you started out with this platform, the manual of arms would most likely be very normal for you, just how AR-15s are to most of us. Well guys, that's going to wrap up our review of the Springfield Armory Hellion Bullpup Rifle. Again, big shout out to Springfield Armory. We always are grateful for their continued support. Also big shout out to Primary Arms for sending us this 3x Prism SLX. It was awesome to use, and it was also great to see Dimitri out on the range with us. We appreciate all of you checking out the video. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up down below, as that does help out the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing because we post new videos every week. If you want to further support our content, check out that Patreon link down below. Our Patreon members are a huge reason why we keep making these videos for you guys all to watch. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Man, so much. Do it more, John. You gotta tell me if you're gonna hit 100 in the dark. I'm not gonna hit now because I'm recording.
That's right.
Oh, helps if what kind of bill drill was that?